What's up, guys? Chris Schroeder here with another video. In this video, guys, we're going to be going over the process of buying a phone from the person who's selling it to you and everything that transpires in between. Before we get started, though, remember to like and subscribe. Also, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chris Schroeder. I help new and experienced resellers with phones and electronics, and I help them get to $3,000 to $4,000 profit months using my organic and simple paid marketing strategies so that they can achieve the goals that they want, leave their 9 to 5, that type of thing, right? In every single video, I can promise that I will deliver at least one thing that you can implement today that will help you get started, grow, and or scale your business. Before I get started, guys, I always like to answer these 3 questions just because I get asked them so often. The first one is always, does this business work? Absolutely. This business has worked since the beginning of time. All you're doing is buying low, selling high, keeping the profit in the middle, okay? Will it work for me? This is the second question I always get. It will work for anybody who has a work ethic, a smartphone, and access to Wi-Fi, okay? And the last question is always, do you need a lot of time and money? No. If you have a few $100, 1 to 2 hours a day, then you're good to go, okay? So let's get started on this whole process. I got my list right over here on what to talk about. So the process of buying the phone or electronic in person, okay? Let's go over it. So what it is basically when you get there, right? You always want to meet in a public location. So I always meet people at Starbucks, and there's a reason for that. Starbucks is very well known. It's it's an easy place to meet people. It's a coffee shop. People are pretty used to meeting people there, right? So that you always want to meet in a public place. Now, the first thing you're going to do whenever they walk in, you're going to introduce yourself, and then you're going to shake hands. If you're worried about shaking hands, don't shake hands. I always recommend shaking hands because it's a respect thing, right? So introduce yourself. Hey, what's up? My name is Chris. Let's see what you got today, right? And then you shake their hand, right? I always do that almost every time, right? If they don't want to shake hands, that's fine too, right? The next thing I do is I'll ask them like, okay, cool. So let me check out the phone, right? Let me see, let me look it over. The next thing, what I'll do is I will check multiple different things. I'll check the screen. So for example, I have a phone right here, or I have one right here. So the first thing I'll do, check the screen. Now, one thing you want to do on the screen is you want to check around the rims here a little bit, right? Because sometimes there can be like a very, very minuscule crack there, even if the screen looks really good, okay? Because if a screen is cracked, it's cracked. Like, it doesn't matter, it has to be replaced. A direct buyer, eBay person, they won't care how big the crack is, okay? Next thing you want to check on the screen is if there's any scratches, you want to run your fingernail across those scratches. And if your fingernail like stops, that is considered a grade C. It's almost the same as cracked for the most part, just because the scratches can be so deep, okay? So that's one thing you want to look for. The next thing, obviously, check the back, check the cameras, check everything else, right? Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the settings here, or you're going to go to the camera. I'm sorry. Always check the camera, right? You're going to want to check the front camera, the back camera, make sure everything is working correctly there. Next thing that you want to do is check Face ID. Always check Face ID, okay? So if you don't check Face ID and make sure it works, you can lose a lot of money if you don't do that, okay? The next thing I always check is the sounds and notifications, sounds and haptics. So I'll go to the sounds and haptics in the settings. I will turn the volume up, make sure everything works and sounds correct, right? Next thing I'll do after that is I'll check the volume buttons, make sure they work well. Check the mute button or the mute thing right here. So this is an iPhone, obviously. Pretty much the same thing applies for Androids though too. So, and for the most part, that's pretty much it. Those are the main components. Another thing I recommend checking is the charging port as well. So if you have a charger with you, definitely check the charging port. I've made that mistake way too many times. So check the charging port. And then obviously just look over the phone. You can also check the battery health as well. So if you go into the settings, you can scroll down a little bit and you can go to battery, and then you can actually check the battery health here. See, this one's 83%. So that's a little bit lower. I'd actually offer a little bit lower for that one. just because it is so low. Those are just some things to look over. Okay. So what happens after that? What happens after you've checked over the phone and everything? Okay. The next part is you're going to want to reset the phone. Why? If it's not already reset. So to do that, what you're going to need to do, sometimes they have, so right up here where it says sign into your iPhone, if it has a name there, what you need to do is you need to have that person sign out of it. So you're going to click on that. You're going to click sign out. It is going to prompt that person for a password. Okay. And when it prompts that person for a password, you're going to hand the phone back to them, and you are, going to have them sign out of it. Have them sign out of their account. That's basically what happens after that. Next thing you're going to do is reset the phone. So now after you do this a couple times, you'll do all of this really quickly. Okay. So next thing you want to do is reset the phone. You're going to go into the settings again. We're going to go down all the way to, we're going to go to general. So we're going to go to general. And then once you're in general settings, you're going to see this. You're going to scroll down a little bit. And then you're going to see this down here. It says transfer or reset iPhone. You're going to push transfer or reset iPhone. And then at the very bottom, you're going to see erase all content and settings. You're going to want to do that. Okay. Once you do that, it'll either prompt you for a password or something like that. Have that person put it in, and then you're going to erase the phone. And then it's going to look like this. Okay. And then it'll go back to the hello screen. And as it is doing that, what you're going to do now is you're going to fill out the bill of sale. Okay. You are going to fill out the bill of sale. The customer does not fill out the bill of sale. Okay. So you're going to fill out all of the information. You're going to get their driver's license information, all of that information. If you guys need a free digital bill of sale, you can find that in the resources below. I have one for free that is through Resale Deck. It'll text you all of the information, including their signature. Okay. So you're going to walk them through. You're going to have them sign the bill of sale, all of that, put the price on there, everything, right? While that's happening, this phone should nearly be done resetting once you guys finish that. And then once all of that is done, what you're going to do is you're actually going to walk back through the activation process. Okay. So for example, the phone is going to look like this. And then I forgot a step. We need to check the IMEI. So we'll do that kind of right now. So once you get back to the hello screen here, there's going to be a little dot or the little I at the bottom here. It's going to be right here. You're going to click on that. Just like that, right? And it's going to pop up with the IMEI number. And then obviously go to StickW, use Apple Basic Info, look it up, make sure it's clean, make sure it's good to go, and it's not blacklisted or anything like that, right? I usually make that the first part, but I messed up, but whatever. After you do all of that, you're going to reset up the phone, okay? So you're going to go through the whole entire activation process, all right? So you're going to go through, do all of that, set it up manually, connect it to Wi-Fi. Make sure you connect it to Wi-Fi. So 1-800, connect it to a Wi-Fi. That's another reason I meet at Starbucks, because they have free, fast Wi-Fi. Okay, and then it's going to activate the phone. It's going to go through the whole activation process here, and as it's doing, you want to make sure you do all of this before you hand over the cash. Okay. So as this is activating, because this does take a second, then you're going to go through all of this stuff. Okay. So you're going to continue, set up later, passcode, don't use passcode, don't use passcode. It's going to keep going. Don't transfer data. You're going to get to this screen where it asks for the Apple ID. What you're going to do instead here is you're going to click forgot password or don't have an Apple ID so that it moves you past that. You're going to go to set up later in settings, and then you're going to do don't use. You're going to go agree, continue, not now, disable, set up later, don't share, continue, and then done. Boom, there you go. Now it's all set. Now that the bill of sale has been signed, IMEI is checked, everything checks out, right? Everything is good to go. What you're going to do now is you're going to hand the money over. You're going to count it out and then have them count it back to you. Okay. And yeah, So you're going to hand them the cash, do all that. You can also use Cash App and stuff like that. I use that too. It's really the person's preference on that. And that's how the deal works. Now, the last part you're going to do is you're going to either give them a business card or ask them for a review. If you have a Google My Business or something like that, or even your Facebook page, ask them for a review. It's very, very powerful. Okay. So, and that's the process, guys. That's the whole process. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.